This is a 2022 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. This is the recently new, highly anticipated C8 generation that was always destined to be controversial, both in its home country of the United States and here in Australia too. Let me explain why. For more than 6 decades, the Corvette has stuck to an incredibly successful formula for which it has been known. A lightweight, 2-seat front-engine V8 powered sports car styled with an extra long bonnet, the choice of manual or automatic transmissions, and a coupe or convertible body. Aside from a few first-generation C1s that came with an inline-6, that formula I just mentioned is pretty much all the Corvette has ever been, and people have loved it for that. Every generation Corvette has been well regarded, become its own icon over the years, and sold really well. The only significant time a Corvette hasn't sold well were in fact those first few C1s that didn't have the V8. So why is the C8 generation controversial now? What changed? They put the engine in the back. That's pretty much the main reason. It also looks different, quite a bit unlike any previous Corvette, especially with its shortened bonnet and overall mid-engine style. Many who see it but don't know what it is probably just look at it as being like any other supercar. Personally, I and many others think that as a car, as its own standalone thing, it looks amazing. It doesn't look like a Corvette, and I understand why fans would be upset by that, but as an car, it looks good. Chevrolet's main reason for changing the recipe is so that the car can better compete with European supercars like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsche 911s, all of which are also mid-engined and perform really well on track because of it. Chevrolet wants the C8 to have supercar levels of performance, but for sports car pricing. And that is the reason why on the other side of the C8 controversy coin, people love it and it sells like hotcakes. Being an American manufactured car, we don't get to see many Corvettes in Australia. This is the first one I believe we've had in our showroom, and they've been out for a few years now. It makes sense that the owner of this one wants to protect it with PPF. Last week's video of the MT09 was filmed at the same time as this one you're watching now, so footage of some parts are missing, however the process always remains the same. The car was worked on both by Kyle and our newest recently qualified XPEL PPF Installer Kushan, whose first time it was on camera. No pressure.
Hi, I'm Kushan, people call me Kush, and I'm the newest PPF installer working at MADinc, guided by Matthias and Kyle, and it's nice to meet you guys. This week we had a blue Corvette, looks like a nice car, and my first impression was like, how the hell am I gonna wrap? Because like it got so many curves and edges, and I was pretty much overwhelmed. But once I started wrapping, it just went smoothly. It wasn't as challenging as I thought, but there were some quite challenging pieces we had to overcome. But Kyle was there to help me, and it was pretty much good after that. And the first step of working on a car that comes to MADinc for PPF is to wash it and decontaminate it fully. We put the Corvette in the detailing bay and wash it fully to make sure there's nothing on the car. We use foam, a deionizer, and clay bars, all to remove contamination from the paint and to make sure we are applying film to a clean surface. Well, pretty much after the wash process, we take the car to the PPF bay and we use a software called DAP, which has all the templates for all the cars we wrap. We just have to type in the car name, the year, and the model, and it just gives us all the templates to the car. After we get the templates from DAP, we still have to adjust the patterns because, can I go to the car and just show it?
Absolutely. Yep.
So like in areas like this, we extend the film to tuck it under the car to make it a seamless finish. And after we design it in the DAP, we put the film on the plotter so we can plot the film, and we take the film to the weeding machine and weed all the excess film. I started with the front fender. When I started wrapping it, I was like, oh, it's gonna be easy, but I did find it quite challenging around areas like this and there, because like you have to stretch the film right in here and then stretch it here afterwards. So what's hard about it is it's just that we have to line it up perfectly, otherwise it's gonna be a little messy. I then did both the driver and passenger doors, which James didn't get to film because he was too busy playing around. The bonnet was easy because it is a lot smaller than other Corvettes, but still tricky because of all the sharp angles it has. The rear bumper is very difficult, so I was generous and decided that Kyle should do that part because I think he needs the practice. While I did some roof pieces, Matthias and Kyle did the main part of the engine cover panel, which is the most difficult part of the car. This panel is very difficult because it has such a high level of surface tension, and the film doesn't always want to stick straight away. Once all of the paint protection film has been applied, the Corvette is taken back to the detailing base where it is washed again to remove excess gel. The interior is detailed and protected, and the car is cleaned up and finished off. Pretty much after we lay all the film, we go over the car, make sure the film isn't lifting in anywhere. If there's like excess film, we just trim it out. And we use gel to lay the film on the panel, so we make sure there are no gel marks on the film. So we wipe the whole car, go through the car again, and make sure it's Hollywood, so the customer can be happy.
So there you have it, a brief look at the new C8 Corvette and the process of protecting it. And you got to meet Kush, who I was actually genuinely surprised by when he said yes to speaking on camera. You'll see more of Kush throughout future videos, and if you're visiting our showroom in person and you see Kush, be sure to say hi. Stay tuned for more exciting things coming soon, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and thank you to the owner of this Corvette for bringing it to us, and thank you for waiting while I finish filming. See you next time.